Back in 2024, MrBeast tried to pull off the biggest moment in creator history. Forget YouTube videos, Jimmy Donaldson was out here building a $100 million real-life Squid Game, with 2,000 contestants, a $5 million prize pool, and a whole dystopian mini-city inside NFL stadiums. Amazon brought the rights for millions, and Jimmy hyped it up as the greatest game show ever made. And that's when Beast Games was birthed. For a minute, everyone believed him, but reality hit fast. Contestants collapsing from dehydration, diabetics denied medication, people sleeping on stadium floors in $10 sleeping bags, women getting tackled unconscious, 80-hour work weeks, COVID, pink eye, even unions blacklisting the entire production. So much happened and it was so disgusting. Critics gave it a 2 out of 10 and called it a dystopian human misery, with MrBeast himself somehow trying to defend this mess. What was supposed to be the biggest W in YouTube history turned into one of its biggest catastrophes. This is a satisfying fall of Beast Games. In the March of 2024, MrBeast signed with Amazon MGM Studios to create Beast Games, a multi-episode series with a record-breaking $5 million prize pool. Amazon's own marketing emphasized scale, 1,000 contestants competing across multiple rounds, thousands of extras, and entire stadiums converted into Beast City. Jimmy said the deal gave him full creative control, and he told fans he wanted to prove YouTubers can compete with traditional entertainment. Applications to compete went live in early May. By July, more than 2,000 contestants had been flown into Las Vegas for initial rounds. Several production companies were contracted to handle logistics, set construction, safety, and crew staffing. The expectations were massive, but the reality wasn't. So, the first report, on the 18th of July in 2024, the Las Vegas outlet Vital Vegas posted the first report about Beast Games, citing witnesses who claimed contestants were seen wearing garbage bags over their uniforms to hide branding while being moved between stage locations. The report alleged contestants lacked access to food and water, several were transported to Desert Springs Hospital, some participants claimed they had been told to surrender 5 days worth of medication. Photos circulated of hundreds of players lined up outside hotels, refusing to confirm who they were filming for. Jimmy's team responded within days, telling Vital Vegas there had only been 3 medical incidents out of 2,000 contestants, 2 unrelated to production and 1 dehydration case. They said water and electrolyte drinks were available and that all 3 contestants were released and doing well. But new details from contestants and staff soon contradicted the official response. Multiple contestants reported that production required them to hand over several days of prescription medications for processing. According to messages later published by Rosanna Pansino, many contestants did not receive their medication back on schedule. Some claim they went multiple days without essential prescriptions, including insulin, heart medication, and seizure medication. One contestant said they had a seizure on set after not receiving their medication. Another said they were forced to compete despite notifying staff about medical needs.
One girl in our group, she did need her epilepsy medication and she did not get it. She had a hard time fighting for it.
And that's not all.
We had finally gotten access to food after about 10 hours, and I witnessed a male just collapse right in front of me, and he was convulsing.
NBC News spoke to 5 other former contestants who asked to remain anonymous because they feared retaliation. They said there wasn't enough food and that they witnessed medics responding to a contestant who appeared to pass out. In August, the New York Times reported that more than a dozen unnamed participants told them that they had not received adequate food or medical care, and that some competitors had suffered injuries from the physical challenges, with some even leaving the competition arena on stretchers.
Production later told Vital Vegas the medication bags were mostly lost or untracked, which I don't think is a very good answer or excuse. Then the food and water shortages. Contestants repeatedly described being fed extremely small portions, often 10 to 12 hours apart. Meals reportedly included small amounts of quinoa, chicken breast, oatmeal, hard-boiled eggs, and small vegetable cups. Several contestants estimated the meals provided 400 to 700 calories each, well below typical daily needs, especially during physically demanding competitions. Some said food ran out entirely during filming days. Water shortages were also reported. While production claimed beverages were always available, contestants stated they frequently couldn't find water and were told by staff to push through. Now, let's talk about the conditions inside the stadium. The first major rounds were filmed in Allegiant Stadium, home to Las Vegas Raiders. Contestants described the environment as chaotic, unorganized, and unsafe. First-hand accounts included the terrible sleeping arrangements. Contestants slept 2 nights inside the stadium on the ground in $10 sleeping bags. There were no showers, deodorant wipes were provided, but many contestants complained of hygiene issues, illness spreading, and lack of sleep due to noise and constant filming. Yeah, I mean, imagine sleeping shoulder to shoulder with strangers on a stadium floor and you guys aren't even allowed to shower or brush your teeth. And there was also a luggage chaos. After each elimination, contestants had to retrieve their belongings from a room containing thousands of bags with no organization system. People reportedly spent hours searching luggage, underwear bags, and medication. There was also sanitation problems. Contestants reported overflowing portable toilets, underwear bags being lost or mixed up, contestants forced to reuse the same clothes for days, people hoarding wipes and deodorant, and cases of pink eye and COVID spreading through the group. Contestants said there were no microphones used for announcements in the stadium, forcing players to pass information person to person. Some missed meal windows or medical access entirely because they simply didn't hear instructions. Then, the safety issues and injuries. Multiple rounds of Beast Games involved high-speed movement, climbing, pushing, or crowd-based challenges. As a result, several contestants reported injuries. During games involving briefcases or flags, contestants said players trampled each other, women were violently tackled by larger male contestants, some players were knocked unconscious, contestants with visible injuries were encouraged to continue filming. One woman described being hit so hard she blacked out and was dragged off the field by medics. The man who tackled her reportedly remained in the competition. I mean, I guess that's what people are gonna do when there's $1 million on the line.
No one referred me to nurses or to the ambulance or anything else. I didn't know I was kicked because apparently I blacked out momentarily and said, you know, I think I have a 1-year recovery. And so, sorry.
It's not who you are.
So devastating. So devastating. Okay. I will not get emotional. I was tackled and kicked in the head as a contestant on Beast Games. I entered the game as a super fan mom. I exited with a year-long recovery from a traumatic brain injury, if I should ever recover completely. My injury was completely preventable. I share the details online this week with the intention that this does not happen again. My hope is that lots of good decisions will flow from very bad circumstances.
And then of course, the Las Vegas heat combined with stadium lights created extreme conditions. Contestants reported dizziness, fainting, and dehydration. At least one contestant suffered a seizure during filming. There was also crew and union backlash. In late July, Rosanna Pansino shared an email from the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, stating MrBeast Productions attempted to hire exclusively non-union crew, despite the scale of the production requiring union labor. When they couldn't find enough non-union workers, they reportedly hired union members but refused to pay union standard benefits. Then the union blacklist. IATCE Canada declared Beast Games an unfair production. Union members were ordered not to work on the show. Those who did could be expelled from the union. There was also injuries to the crew members. The complaints included unsafe electrical equipment, gear submerged in water during storms, fans and AC turned off during 90-degree days, workers logging 80+ hours per week, a 6-foot section of set collapsing on a crew member, resulting in hospitalization. And multiple staff said management ignored or dismissed safety concerns. And around late July, this would all start going viral. Mostly thanks to Rosanna Pansino, she posted at least 5 independent sources confirming the Vital Vegas article was at least 90% true. Over the next 3 days, she received over 100 messages from contestants and crew, confirming all the allegations. Her coverage brought mainstream attention to the issue, and more contestants began posting their own accounts online. And then the lawsuits and formal complaints. Even before the show aired, multiple contestants filed lawsuits alleging failure to provide minimum wages, unsafe working conditions, medical negligence, emotional distress, and unsanitary environments, with photos, videos, and documents being included as evidence. Which is weird considering they had a $100 million budget, yet they were cutting costs significantly, putting people's lives and health at risk.
Amazon MGM Studios announced the show and its $5 million cash prize. Now 5 people are taking the company that produces MrBeast show and Amazon to court in California. They cite poor working conditions. Reps for MrBeast, Amazon, another production company, another one listed in the suit, all declined to comment. NBC's Yasmin Vasugian is all over this for us. Walk us through some of the specific allegations here, Yasmin.
So we were looking through the filing here, Tom. By the way, Mr. Beast, a huge YouTube star. My kids even watching him, for instance. You mentioned it, 316 million followers here, also known as Jimmy Donaldson. Some of the specifics of the allegations that are made here, and I want to be clear, these are in fact allegations, were in fact redacted in the filing. But let me read for you some of what they said here. As you mentioned, shamelessly exploited, contestants, quote unquote, unreasonable and unsafe conditions. Again, all of these allegations, more of the specifics that we're getting here, penning contestants into enclosed spaces, underfed, overtired contestants, stressful, exhausting challenges for cash. By the way, the prize money for this reality show is in fact $5 million. The reality show that being filmed is Beast Games, by the way, still currently being filmed. And so that is what they're talking about. Really, all of these contestants here kind of vying for this $5 million cash prize. Insufficient medical staff to attend to potential and actual injuries, going on to say they did not provide and a healthful place to work, jeopardizing safety for workers as well. They were forced not to eat, not to sleep, causing physical and mental injury. Again, I cannot say this enough. These are all allegations made in this filing by these 5 contestants who were also unnamed, but nonetheless, certainly a major story when it comes to this gargantuan YouTube star, Tom, Mr. Beast.
And then when Beast Games finally premiered, critical reception was overwhelmingly negative. IGN gave it a 2 out of 10 and described Beast Games ads devoid of depth, a hollow spectacle, lacking meaningful character or story, mostly suffering packaged as entertainment. The Guardian called it dystopian human misery, manufactured desperation for content. There was many more. And Jimmy himself publicly responded to criticism, saying it was sad one person can call something thousands worked on a 2 out of 10, which only intensified debate. So by late 2024, Beast Games had accumulated negative press, union disputes, crew complaints, contestant injuries, lawsuits, industry backlash, and poor critic reviews. What was intended to be the biggest achievement in creator history instead became a case study in how scale, speed, and ambition can collapse under their own weight. Beast Games was supposed to be a turning point, a moment where creators proved they could outdo traditional entertainment. Instead, it highlighted the risks of attempting to run a mega production without the infrastructure, unions, and labor protections that Hollywood has spent decades building. So yeah, that's a satisfying fall of Beast Games. They somehow had $1 million to spend, yet they couldn't make it work. They couldn't even provide showers or find people's luggage, or even give them medication or food. It's kind of incredible how they managed to F it up so bad. So let me know guys' thoughts. Would you want Beast Games 2? Did you even watch the first Beast Games? And do you think Mr. Beast should be cancelled for not taking care of his contestants and staff? Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.